Good evening, everyone. I'm Zach Tigert, and it is the third Saturday in October, which can only mean one thing: Alabama versus Tennessee. We had a crew in Knoxville. We'll get to them in a moment, but let's check out some of the highlights from this afternoon. Peyton Manning was on hand to watch the Volunteers. Some fans might have wished he was playing quarterback for him. Pick up the action now. In the late first quarter, Calvin Ridley fakes the sweep to the right, tosses back to Darius Stewart, runs the left, picks up a few blocks, including one from Jalen Hurts, and he's in for the game's first score. Alabama strikes first. Tennessee now on offense. Josh Dobbs attempting a screen pass, but the ball is picked off by Ronnie Harrison, and he is gone for 6. And the streak of games with a non-offensive touchdown continues. 9 games in a row now. Now in the second quarter, Hurts fakes the handoff to Josh Jacobs, runs right, and he will not be caught. 45 yards downfield for the score, and the Tide starts rolling. And into the fourth quarter now. Just more of the same. Eddie Jackson, we've seen this before, picks up some blocks on the punt return, and again, a special teams touchdown for the Tide. They win it big, 49-10, the final from Rocky Top. Alabama ran all over Tennessee this afternoon with ease, using the likes of Bo Scarborough, Damien Harris, and of course, Jalen Hurts. Our Brandon Kamerman was in Knoxville, and he has more on the Tide's potent ground game.
Well, it's hard to call this a statement win. Not when Alabama's the #1 team in the country and came into the game on an 18-game winning streak overall, a 9-game winning streak against the Vols. But it is fair to say the Crimson Tide ran all over the Volunteers and literally ran them over for 438 rushing yards, led by their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, who had 151 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground.
I think it opens up our offense. You know, we're not one-dimensional with just a running back, and, you know, our quarterback can run the ball too. So I think that makes it very hard for defenses to, you know, control and manage. So we proved that tonight.
Just the kind of competitor that he is. Whether it's a bad play in the game or something, whatever happens, we know that we can trust him in any circumstance, and he'll be able to make the next play.
Thursday practice, we did a 2-minute drill, and he had like a 40-yard run out of nowhere on like 3rd and long. And sometimes it just doesn't. It look like he's a junior, senior out there sometimes, but he's a freshman and he plays like an upperclassman.
I got on Jalen a couple times a day, and the good thing about Jalen is he always takes it right, and I always ask him in the locker room, "Should I got on you?" He said, "Yeah." So he agrees, but he made some good throws today. He missed some throws, he missed some reads, but he's getting better every week. Obviously, his ability to run is something that gives defenses a lot of problems.
And so Nick Saban is 10-0 as Alabama head coach against the Vols. And what do you expect after the game? His players lit up their cigars and celebrated. A celebration that will only last 24 hours because next week it's Texas A&M. The undefeated Aggies come into Bryant-Denny Stadium. At Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Brandon Kamerman, WVUA 23 Sports.
Thanks, Brandon. While it's easy to attribute the win to the Alabama rushing game, it has to be hard to overlook the Crimson Tide's defensive stats. Alabama held Tennessee to just 163 total offensive yards and just 32 yards on the ground. A big reason why was due to Alabama's defense on 3rd down. The Vols were just 3 for 16 on 3rd down, something the Tide had focused on all week.
We haven't played great on 3rd down as well as we thought we could this year, but we did a great job today, and I think that was a big point of emphasis for us going into this game is, you know, when you play these no-huddle fastball teams, when you don't get off the field on 3rd down, they have extended drives. Players get tired. That's when they get rolling. That's when they create momentum. So it was a big point of emphasis for us to do a great job on 3rd down.